Happy Friday, everyone. It's Weather for Weather Geeks time. We've got the weekend coming up. We've got a little snow coming up. We'll talk about that in just a second. First of all, it was cold this morning, and here's a look at backyard thermometers across the valley this morning. We had a -6 in Boardman, -1 up here around Warren, Howland, -2, a -6 over here towards North Benton, and Alliance -1, -4 down in Lisbon. So a lot of backyards were below zero this morning, and a lot of backyards will be pretty close to the zero mark again tonight with a clear sky overhead. All right, we've got 1 week in the books in February, and this is the temperature anomaly map for the U.S. so far this month. Now, this looks a little different than January. January was warm along the West Coast. But in February, it's cooling down, and they're getting some much-needed rain in California and along the West Coast, and so temperature anomalies have been colder than average out there. But, of course, here in eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania, it has been cold. Not when you average it all together, nothing really to write home about here, just a little below average for the most part in our part of the country. We're all tired of the cold, we're all tired of the snow, but when you look at the first week of February, it will go down in the history books as not an exceptionally cold period here in the region. Florida's been warm. Actually, parts of the Northeast have been warmer than average so far this month. All right, on this Friday afternoon, nothing going on the radar. Satellite's pretty quiet as well. Just a few fair weather clouds around. A lot of the gray coloring you see here is just snow cover reflecting the sunlight and being picked up by the satellite picture here. But we are pretty much cloud-free with an area of high pressure, which is centered right here. Here's that high-pressure zone down along the Ohio River Valley. Look at these mid-afternoon temperatures. It's cold this afternoon. It's only 13 degrees here in Youngstown. It's 12 over at the Canton-Akron Airport and 22 down in Pittsburgh. And the wind chill is down pretty close to zero. In fact, a little below zero in a lot of spots during the middle of this afternoon. So, yeah, it's a cold day today. Let me plot the radar back up for just a second. I do want to point out what's going on in the west, where they are getting some much needed rain. If you have relatives out in California, you know that they've probably been talking about the drought. There's been no snow in the mountains, no rain in the valleys, but finally, look at that. San Francisco and points north are getting wet. This system will cruise across the entire country and probably won't bring us a tremendous amount of precipitation, either liquid or frozen. It's going to be mostly down in the south that we'll have to worry about that. All right, let's talk about the future here, and let's talk about the weekend. I'm going to bring up a computer model that's going to show us what the radar should look like tomorrow as we get up. Here's tomorrow morning's computer model simulated radar. Rain down in parts of the southeast, a little bit of snow down towards the Ohio River tomorrow morning, but nothing going on here. I'll fast forward to tomorrow afternoon, middle of the afternoon tomorrow. I think it's going to cloud up, but notice there's just not much there. Maybe there's just a little bit of light snow or some flurries around tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow evening. This system may swing through tomorrow night and bring us enough snow to give us fresh coating, maybe upwards of an inch in spots, but not a real big deal. For the most part, Saturday is going to be a decent day, just cloudier than today. It's Saturday night into Sunday that we've got a little better chance of a little annoying snow. GFS model here for Sunday morning still has some snow showers around. There's a very weak area of low pressure moving through Pennsylvania. Cyclonic flow around that producing, just some real random snow showers around on Sunday into Sunday night. And I'm going to pause this for just a second. Excuse me for just a second. I've been dealing with a cold this week, so I had to pause there to work with my cold. We're getting back to the weekend. Sunday night, again, some green on the map here. This is real disorganized snow shower activity. I don't think there's going to be much to write home about this weekend. Early next week, it's going to be cold but uneventful. High pressure drifts across by Tuesday, and it just doesn't look like a very exciting weather week next week. Maybe towards the end of the week, we get a little bit of snow. Let's talk about the longer range. There are signs that by the last week of February, we're going to break out of this pattern. Until then, I think we're still firmly locked in the cold. Average is the black line in the middle here. The forecast is the lines that move around. And certainly we're colder than average through the weekend. There's a little spike here around the 13th that we could get a little above average. Maybe we're up to 32, 35 degrees for a bit. We cool off after that, but after that, there's more consistent modeling showing a pattern that will be more favorable for above average temperatures, at least certainly more than we have right now. And check this out. This is the latest climate forecast system forecast for the 17th through the 27th. So this is a 10-day period, the last 10 days of the month almost. And look at this, a warm anomaly in most of the east. So, boy, let's hope this pans out. This is just one of several different things that it is pointing towards the back end of February being much more tolerable than it has been recently. So we're gonna hope that this turns out to be the right idea. Let's hope that the same modeling next week doesn't sing a different tune. But as of right now, we're becoming a little more confident that the end of February could be a little bit better. All right, that's Weather for Weather Geeks on this Friday. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 6. And after the Olympics tonight, we're on a little later at 11:30. Mike Joyce has you covered in the Weather Center all weekend. And be sure, if you're up in the morning, check out WFMJ Weekend today. It's a great show, and you'll see me on there tomorrow morning as well.